it's just really exciting to kind of be a part of one of these newer DC shows that are kind of bringing in all these different human aspects into the show.
Hey, TRAE.
Hey, how are you? Thanks for having me on. Sorry I'm a little bit late.
No problem. No problem, man. It is nice to meet you. I'm very happy to have you on the show. So thank you to be here, TRAE. I know you're pretty busy. Yeah, you know, Stargirl season 2 is rolling on CW as we talk right now. You must be excited and happy. So first of all, how are you, TRAE? Just tell us, how are you? Everything's fine on your side?
Relatively, yeah. I'm really busy right now. I'm going back to school, starting up season 3 soon. I'm going back and forth to Los Angeles a lot, doing some stuff there. All in all, I mean, hey, like, I'm tired, that's for sure. I've like when you start doing just more stuff and the season starts coming back around and just that work season kind of mentality kind of comes back. You kind of have to get used to it again. And I've just been really just kind of kicking it as much as I can.
So you're living in the East Coast, working on the West Coast, in school and everything. So yeah, I guess it's not easy.
Yeah, no, it's definitely not. I mean, we actually do film Stargirl here in Atlanta, so it's not actually on the West Coast, believe it or not. But like on the West Coast, when I do go out, I'm staying with friends, I'm doing stuff, I'm trying to get stuff made, blah blah blah. So yeah, it does get a little bit tiring, definitely, and add school in there and all my assignments and everything. Yeah, it gets a little bit to be a lot. Like today, it was a great example. I came home, I took a nap, I just woke up. So
Thank you. TRAE, the show is not available right now in France, but fortunately I subscribed an authorized VPN to watch the first season on Amazon Prime Video Canada.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to watch season 2. So I'm sorry I'm late about the show, but I must say something. It is my second favorite DC show. The first one is Superman and Lois, and that's why I'm glad to have you. Actually, yeah, that's what I'm glad to have you. And how it is, to be a part of this amazing DC legacy, because we're talking about the GSA stories, Justice Society of America, and it's way prior to the Justice League, So how it is for a young guy like you, to be a part of DC history?
I think the biggest exciting thing for everyone on the show is working for Jeff Johns. Like I say it all the time. Luke says it all the time, and it's true because Jeff is single-handedly bringing these JSA characters back. It's something that like a lot of these characters are overlooked and forgotten. They're these Justice League characters like Brainwave and Icicle, and it's just really an exciting thing to be part of this story. That's like it's just so original and so unique. Even though there's so many DC shows out there's so many, Arrow and Supergirl and
Titans.
Lois is amazing, and Titans, exactly. Mm-hmm. But I always feel that Stargirl has its own little flavor of its own. It kind of incorporates a lot of different things into the show. So it's just really exciting to kind of be a part of one of these newer DC shows that are kind of bringing in all these different human aspects into the show. It's not just like and I'm not saying anything about DC shows. I love them all. The thing about Stargirl, even season 2, I know you haven't watched it yet, but they're really doing a good job, in my opinion, exploring like why villains are how they are and why heroes are how they are, and what kind of blurs the lines, like, you know, between good and evil. It's really kind of fun, and just like it's a whirlwind and a roller coaster, because I always say this, but you never know what's going to happen next with Mike's character in like season 2.
That's true. Yeah.
And you know, you can tell that he hides a lot behind his humor and his jokes and stuff like that, and you kind of start knowing more about him, and it's just really fun to be playing any character on this show. You know, Rick, who's played by Cameron Gelman, I think has a great arc this season. Everyone has a great arc this season, and we're all just glad to be a part of it.
And you know, TRAE, I must be honest with you. You know, I was afraid that, you know, the show was for a younger audience, like, you know, a teenage viewers. And man, I was wrong. I was literally wrong, you know, and I was impressed, you know, how it can be dark, you know, and the villains are not playing around, you know. It is something you love about the show, like, you know, the younger and older audience can enjoy it.
Yeah, exactly. And honestly, it's like I said, season 2 just expands on that. If you think season 1 gets dark whatsoever, season 2 is just that on steroids. And it's just like you're watching them perform, and you're watching, you know, these performances that like they write those characters so well and so specifically and so surgically that all of the villains are so just amazing and fun to watch. Like, I remember a few times I was filming episode 3, which is Mike's episode, and there's a scene where I'm supposed to rush into like this kind of this room that Jonathan Cake, or the Shade, is sitting at the end of this long table, and he's giving this like 2-page monologue, and I'm just listening so intently through like the wall, like, and I'm waiting for my cue, and I'm just like, I literally just remember listening to him, and I missed my cue because I was just so listening like intently to what he was saying, because it was that magnetic and amazing. And you know, like, this is
suddenly
not
it's true, you know, suddenly everything's true, right? Yeah,
exactly. Suddenly everything was just like, I just feel like I just need to listen to this man, because like, you know, but yeah, like the show is definitely something that everyone could watch. It's almost like a comfort food to me. You know, it's like you can sit down with your family and watch it. You know, it's just, I think it's really cool when people tell me that, you know, that like I watch this with my family, and I you know, like, and especially people that love the old JSA characters and everything like that. And it's just like so funny to me knowing that, you know, all these different like kind of demographics are watching it, you know, adults, kids, teens, and everything in between. It's just really, it's fun to see, you know, kind of all of these people watching it, because everyone loves it, and it's amazing.
It is. And now I can wait to watch season 2. Yeah, you know, I'm gonna put it tonight. Maybe I'm gonna stream it tonight. TRAE, I have a friend in the room. He has a YouTube channel. His name is Captain Morpheus. He's a DC fan, you know. He's an expert. He has a channel, Geekology, and he's with us, and he has like 2 questions for you.
Perfect.
Yo, let me introduce him right now. Hey, salut, Captain.
Hi, TRAE. Nice to meet you, boy.
What's going on, man? Thanks for having me.
Everything is good. I will speak French like this. John won't have like too much subtitle to do, you know?
Yeah.
OK. Ma première question, c'était de savoir si TRAE lit des comics, s'il a lu le comic Stargirl, et comment il comparait en fait le personnage dans le comics par rapport à ce que lui, il a eu à jouer dans le show, quoi.
Tu veux que je lui dise en anglais, ou tu veux le dire toi?
Non, vas-y, dis-le.
Okay, I'm going to do the translation right now. Captain wants to know if you read comics, you know, and at some point, how you compare, you know, your character in, you know, the comics, Mike Duggan, and in the show, you know.
Yeah. Well, I didn't actually initially read the comics for Stargirl. I didn't read too many comics growing up. I always grew up with the Marvel Cinematic Universe in DC, of course. But when I was on Stargirl, Jeff actually had copies of Stars and Stripe. And I was reading it, and I found a lot about Mike, which was very interesting. I wish I knew some of it actually before I even started. But, you know, it was just a different side of Mike that I feel that, you know, Jeff brought out this kind of comedic and, like, you know, that 80s kind of annoying brother, like movie, like, Back to the Future kind of vibe with Mike in season 1. And it's really interesting because you can kind of slowly see him transition more into how he is in the comics throughout the show. So it's almost like, you figure that you start with the comics and then you kind of graduate into the show. It's almost working backwards, But yeah, I never really read any comics before Stargirl, and in all honesty, like I actually figured out that I really liked them, and I started buying more comics. I literally have like a stack of comics over there that I have not even touched because I've just been so busy. But yeah, it's just really it's really fun and really interesting. But yeah, Mike's character is very different in the show, definitely, I feel. But again, he's kind of starting to work towards that darker side of his character. Jeff is.
So, like you said, you're Mike Duggan in the show, a smart and funny kid who's gonna have a darker side if in season 2, like you said. So that's why I can't wait to see season 2. But you definitely not look like the young guy from season 1 anymore. Now I'm watching you.
Everyone says that, and honestly, like I forget about how long we filmed that. We filmed it 3 years ago.
That's why.
Because like when we started filming it, we were under the impression that it was going to get released within a few months of us filming, blah blah blah, and then we filmed. We essentially waited a year before we released it. It got released during COVID. And then, we had to wait another year to start filming season 2. So everyone's like, I don't recognize you whatsoever. And I'm like, well, I don't blame you because it literally has been 3 years. But, again, Mike's character in general has really matured in the show. So I think it kind of does it justice. I think all of our work in season 2 is just tons better. And I think we had a great time on it. I think we literally just had, generally as a cast, just more fun with season 2. And I can't wait for you to watch it because really,
you hype me too much right now.
I'm hyping you too much. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna do it. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. So, Trey, your father, Pat Duggan, is playing by the great Luke Wilson.
Yes.
And it really matched between the two of you. Like the father and son relationship. And I must say, how it is to work with an actor such as Luke Wilson as your father.
That's actually a great question because Luke and I, for some reason, really hit it off immediately, because Luke's big thing.
We can feel it.
Yeah, that's and honestly, I love that. That's amazing because I feel that also you can see it in the show. We were always hanging out, and it was literally almost like he became a father to me. He became a mentor in the sense that this is my first, this is my biggest job to date, right?
Yeah.
It was really interesting because we both kind of found each other because there's all the 20s and teens, cast members that all kind of hang out together and stuff like that. And Luke kind of took me under his wing. He taught me about the craft. He taught me about, just life outside of acting. He taught me about, how to deal with relationships in acting. And it's just so funny because you don't realize there's so many different sides to the industry, But yeah, I love Luke to death. He's taught me everything I know. And I'm glad that you can see that in the show.
Yeah, I'm happy to hear that because we can feel it. We can see it in the show. Cyril, tu poses ta deuxième question?
Oui.
Captain Morpheus is going to ask his second question.
Justement, là, il vient de nous donner une belle preuve de son entrée dans l'industrie du film. Comment il se voit, lui, dans les années futures? Est-ce qu'il va rester dans le style super-héroïque ou il a envie de voyager et de tenter d'autres styles de films ou de séries?
Yeah. Just because you just said before, you talk about, this industry, it's new for you, it's your very first job, your big first job. How do you see yourself, in the next couple of years? Do you like superhero movie? Do you want to change? Do you want to try something very different? How you see yourself in a couple of years?
Honestly, this is something that I've been talking about a lot lately, especially with Luke. I want to, I want to get more into the filmmaking side of things. I want to make my own films. I want to, act in my own films. That's always been attractive to me. That's always been what I've wanted to do. You look at people like Jon Favreau and people and I know you guys know him very well with the MCU and that was always fun to me. Imagining, writing a script, making it exactly how you want to be, then portraying one of the characters in it. And you look at like Luke and his career, and you look at the people that he's always been involved with, like Wes Anderson and his brother Owen, that have always made their own films. And quite honestly, to me, the forgotten art of cinema is indie films. Indie films are just not anywhere as near as appreciated as they should be, because that's like the rawest art form in cinema, in my opinion, because there's no big studio telling you, what you need to do. You have to take this out, you have to put this in, blah, blah, blah. It's, there's an indie filmmaker. It's, it's a director, a writer, and a cast. And that's always been the most organic form of acting for me. So in the next few years, what I want to do, I want to, do some films, independent of Stargirl, of course, like, independent films. And I also want to, try to get some of my own things made while I'm still young, and start segueing into, the filmmaking side.
I'm happy to hear that you have already, a vision. It seems like you know what you want, and that's nice to hear that.
Hey, yeah, it's great, and sometimes I wish I didn't have that much of a vision, because I know exactly what I want. But it's yeah. Thank you.
So, like you said, season 3 is on the way. Are you ready to work out? Because you're getting bigger and bigger.
That's a good question. That's actually, so Cameron Gelman always harasses me. Actually, he's always like, "When are we going to work out? When are we going to work out?" And I'm like, "Just take it easy," because no. But actually, I've started working out. I've worked out for I've worked out for a while. And like this season, like I was literally just joking around with Cameron, because we were hanging out at his pool and we were working out. They're like, they're not gonna know what to do with you. They're gonna have to give you a super suit. And I was like, thanks a lot. That means a lot. But I have been working out. I'm not ready to work out as much as those guys do, because they're just like full on, like every day they're working out for like hours. And I'm like, look, that sounds great, but like I love my sleep. I love my rest. I love just kind of kicking it for a little bit.
I feel you, yeah.
But I definitely could see myself being in the gym much more extensively than I am now. Yeah.
That's good. Yeah. TRAE, before to let you have some rest, because I know now you need some rest. I can see just behind you a Fender Strat, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm a musician too.
Mustang bass.
Yeah.
Here.
I'm sorry, I'm not. I have my guitar on the wall also, but I'm not. I'm in vacation. I'm not at home right now. So you're a musician, right?
I've been playing for 7 years. Yeah.
No, that's good. I need to check it out. Yeah.
No, yeah, definitely. No, I've been playing forever. I've actually taught myself, and like that's always been fun to me. It's just like I've always been told I've had a good ear. Just like I hear something and I can play it, and like my playing is honestly just like it's just a complete.
That's how I started. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly, and that's honestly the best way. Those are some of the most talented musicians, and it's. Yeah, I just love guitar so much. It's so peaceful and relaxing, and then
yeah. It is.
I was even joking around with Cameron because he plays guitar as well. We were like, this season when we're all in Atlanta, we should start a band and just like go around Atlanta bars and just like play. We'll see what happens with that, but I'd love to do that.
The Starboys, band. Hey, you know what, TRAE? Thank you so much. It was a pleasure to have you on the show. You know what? You're welcome anytime, and I can't wait to talk to you for season 3. Let's say that.
Thank you
okay,
so much
man.
for having me. I'm be glad to come on anytime, and just thanks so much.
Thank you, man. Take care of you, man. Bye bye.
Thank you, TRAE. Bye.
Bye.